Greetings, our cherished listeners and viewers. We are very grateful to God to have another opportunity to, telecast and broadcast another episode of Economical Insight. And our program today, we deeply mourn with the families of our demise heroes who have laid down their lives for the fight against galamsey, who lost their lives in course of, fighting this cause that has been a problem, that has been like a canker in our parts of the world. And whilst we grieve their demise, and we will never hear their voices that echoed in our corridors of power, we will never see their footsteps, in our corridors of power again. We want to ask a very honest question. We want to, tackle this situation that has been a problem in our community, galamsey. Is it a fight of hypocrisy or a fight that the politicians are hypocritically doing? Is it something that we can really fight? Is it something that we are really looking at bringing to an end? Is a question that we must ask ourselves sincerely. And in as much as we are going to discuss this subject, we would like you to join us in the comment section, bring your views. And in this very critical time that we have lost our leaders and heroes who are standing for the nation, who believe in this thing called the fight against galamsey, and this is the time for you also to speak up, to voice out your opinion. Today we have Mr. Gabriel Jallo. You are welcome, sir.
Yes.
And Big Harry.
Thank you very
much.
much.
It's a pleasure to have both of you.
Thank you, my brother.
Today. And so we want to ask a very simple question, okay, on this matter of galamsey, right? And so in as much as previous administrations of government has also done their part, would we honestly say that what is happening in Ghana, the galamsey, the subject galamsey, is a fight that is never going to be won, or is a fight that we can sincerely, fight and then victoriously overcome? So I would like you to begin that with us.
Let me use this moment to, first of all, thank the institution that always give us the platform to discuss short pertinent issue in our society, in our continent, and especially the sub-region. I want to say I'm very honored to be here with Daddy Harry, and I followed the program last week, and I was very, very bitter for not being around to join him. And I also want to say we miss man of God, Pastor Kennedy, we miss you. And we also subscribe to your views. We respect your aspiration and your sentiment. And I want to thank the beautiful CEO of this empire who has made me a celebrity overnight. People saw me and say, hey, this is the guy. And I want to really before responding, I want to make two correction by my own understanding. They did not lay their life. I would say the men went and laid their life. We know Jesus laid his life and he did it willingly. Yeah. Then I don't want you to all say the question he asks about the previous government. They have played their part. What part? That's what I don't want. Those are the two challenges I have with your submission. But let me say, let me also express deepest condolences to the fallen men, and they have family. Most of them are breadwinners, and they are valuable human resource for Ghana, for West Africa, for Africa, and it is a very, very painful loss. And the battle that they were alleged to have been fighting, and many people have died. We won't hear about them. There are people who have lost their life in that galamsey, either from the outflow of what's the hazardous chemical that have been implanted in the society. We won't hear about them. Nobody will give condolence message about them. They might not even look important to society. But let me also send my deepest condolences to the unknown people that will have lost their life in this galamsey fight. But I want to say the galamsey, there was not a fight. There was, from its inception, it was even the making of the political establishment for financial gain, for influence peddling, for them to stretch their political muscle, because it's a very lucrative business. And it's a lucrative business because it is a business that is done in the dark. So many people have been doing it. So me, in my opening statement, I can't say there has ever been a fight, this galamsey fight, and I have never seen a political will in this galamsey fight. I will say this because for a president, the commander, when they say commander in chief, especially when you have a unitary government where the power is being imposed on the chief executive of the state, to vow to the nation and say, I will put my presidency on the line. Then subsequently, his Minister of Environment come and give a verdict that say even the president they are doing galamsey there. So nobody will convince me that there has ever been a fight of galamsey. Then yes, I think
okay,
that's my preliminary comment.
We should reframe the question.
Yes, yes.
The fight against galamsey, is it a real commitment or political hypocrisy?
A classical political hypocrisy. Okay. Classical political hypocrisy. Because for me, I'm not a Ghanaian. I was very, very happy when under the ministerial leadership of Minister Frimpong Boateng, when they established the galamsey Stop Tax Force. I said, wow. I saw all the bravado and all the big English. And what was the outcome? He himself, when he gave us the verdict of that galamsey, I knew that there has never been a galamsey fight. I think that's my preliminary comment for now.
Okay. Yeah. So, Big Harry.
Thank you for the opportunity once again, and let me align myself with my brother and thank the CEO for giving us the opportunity to be here and express our views on issues concerning, first of all, Ghana and beyond Ghana, and probably internationally. Okay. Ghana is mourning, and that, as we all know, sometimes the sound of it, the noisy sound of it, comes to us like a grating steel, sometimes in silence. But the death of these 8 gentlemen erupted in the country a cacophonous noise of disbelief, and most people, I'm sure close family members, friends, became very speechless. I myself, when I turn the TV on, have shed my own tears anytime I see some people interviewed crying and stuff like that. I'm a very emotional empathy person. I have empathy, so I have cried my own cry, shed my own tears, and I have to even summon courage to be on your show. To begin with, you see, like, let me also again express our heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families. Okay. If you see, we've lost 8 gallant men, and so 8 women today, as we are having this discussion, don't have husbands. And so the family feel it more, their wives, their children, their friends, their siblings, their brothers, their dependents are the ones who are feeling it more, although the whole country is thrown in that sort of frenzy atmosphere. The immediate families are the ones that are feeling the heat.
They can feel the impact of the loss of,
because even if the bodies were found, all right, then they could pinpoint to something and mourn moderately. But for the bodies to be burnt beyond recognition, all right, that is where the problem lies. It becomes very unacceptable for them to believe that their husbands left the house in the morning They were going to Adansi or Boise to go and represent the government to at least talk about galamsey, how they will nip it in the bud. And they say, we'll be back in about 2, 3, 4 hours. And all of a sudden, news out there is that these 8 men have perished in this gory helicopter accident. Devastating, very devastating. And so the country, dark cloud is now hovering over the country, and we wish we could overcome this, but it's not going to be easy. Especially when my condolences to His Excellency the President, when I saw him going to lay his wreath, I could see the President wobbling in his legs. And as a leader, I'm sure he needed to gather some courage to be able to lay the wreath.
Certain.
I also saw the wife who uncontrollably couldn't stop weeping. And a lot more people who came around to lay their wreath. You could see the deep sorrow. You see the enormity of the vacuum these people have created in our body politic. But as to whether there is any fight at all against galamsey, like my brother Gabriel said, there is no fight against galamsey. And why will I say there is no fight against galamsey? If a country is serious fighting galamsey, what they need is a security apparatus to be able to carry on this fight, all right? That is, i.e., the police and the military. Even the police alone could have done this job if they really wanted to stop it. I don't think the military needed to come into this small... There's a few hundreds of people in the bushes trying to destroy our water bodies and our forests, all right? And therefore, the police alone, when given the logistics, could have done this easily without inviting the military. But it looks as if the police themselves are also complicit. Anytime they send them to the bush to go and effect an arrest, they end up going to extort money from these galamseyers. All right? And not too long ago, in some part of the western region, in Zama to be precise, a gentleman called Kwame Atu or whatever, when the police went into the bush to either make an arrest or to go and take money, he rather arrested the police and took away their guns from them. And you could see a policeman kneeling down, begging him that, please give me my gun.
Helplessly.
And the gentleman is saying that, listen.
Maybe I have to look for this video.
He said, last week you were here, I gave you money. The other time you were here, I gave you money. And today too, you are coming to collect money. You are not going nowhere. And then you are not arresting anybody here. Bring your gun. And he took the gun. And you see a policeman in uniform kneeling down to beg a common civilian for his arm that has been taken from him. That tells you that the security apparatus itself is not ready to fight galamsey.
Right.
That notwithstanding, there's a gentleman called Erasmus Donko. He has braved all odds. He also abandoned his family, just like these politicians abandoned their family and they were going to work for the government. Erasmus Donko, on his own, as a private individual, as a private journalist, went into this forest to help unravel those behind the destruction of our water bodies and our forests. And he, together with his men, went into a forest in the western region, in the Nimre forest, and there, military men in uniform harassed him, took his cameras, destroyed his cameras. He was not even there alone. He has also gone there with well-built policemen. And the military man who was left behind to take care of where they operate from, he just made a phone call, and within about 10 minutes, they were surrounded with heavy-built military personnel who came and asked them, who asked you to come here, and so on and so forth, and why cameras were taken, destroyed with impunity. So how can the same military who's supposed to protect and defend the country be in the forest pretending over the destruction of the very water bodies and the forest that our forefathers handed to us on a silver platter?
So to that effect, are you saying that it's a political hypocrisy, or is there is a real commitment to some extent?
It's a game of chess. If this man come and play it that way and peel off some money, the next politician or political power that comes to power will also do the same thing. So it's a game of chess. They are playing chess with it. All right. The ex-president himself is captured on camera. I think before he came to power or something, because they came to power based upon this galamsey promise that when they come, they will nip galamsey in the bud. And he said he was going to put his presidency on the line, just like my brother said.
Right. So I'm going to come. I will come back to that. I will definitely come to. The reasons behind or the myths surrounding this fight of galamseyers or of galamsey in Ghana. But as we ask the question, we are going to look at it in diverse sections. Okay. We are going to look at the aspect that is truth, and we are going to ask questions relating to, the fact that we have gathered, not just speculations, okay, fact regarding this galamsey fight, okay, and then those that are still a mystery or a myth that we believe that is what is there, okay, and then we look at the broader implications of this galamsey, and then we talk about that. But I'll come back to you, Big Harry. So concerning the truth aspect, I'm coming to you, Mr. Gabriel, too. What is the real scale of environmental and economic damage caused by galamsey in Ghana? What are some of this the environmental destruction or damage that has been caused as far as you are concerned by this galamsey?
One thing we need to know is that the galamsey, the destruction of the galamsey menace has two phases.
Okay.
It has the destruction of the physical infrastructure of those places where it has been embedded.
Okay.
You see, I attended the Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship Program.
Okay.
We were returning. The people were so brave. The excavators will go under beautiful structures. The structure will stand like a skeleton just for them to get the raw dust. So it has an infrastructural disadvantage. Okay. Then it has a health hazardous implication.
Okay.
Those who are prone to this science, they are telling you that the chemical that, you see, just imagine, since Hiroshima, we are still struggling with the effect to recover from those chemicals that was dropped in that almost 80 years ago.
I read I saw, I think on CNN.
Yes, I saw a survivor. BBC they were interviewing a survivor. So we are talking about
the waters that they are drinking now. Those water are affecting the health of people.
We are talking about 80 years ago. The effect of a bomb, a nuclear bomb that was dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki 80 years ago. We are still having the implication. We are talking about Ghana, where all the institutions, let's give it to the Ghanaian, the fourth estate of the realm.
Okay.
You know, the Ghanaian media hammered this. Johnny Bites and all the medias, they hammered it, thinking that the politicians were serious. So while the Ghanaian media was propagating the danger of this menace, people of the position of chief minister, they are saying that what will we gain if we jail the galamseyers? If we jail one top galamseyer, first of all, it will even affect Ghana economic frontiers with China. Then I was like, hey, that is why Ghanaians change. Now that they have changed, we have seen the trouble. Then the new minister, Kamutaka, he said, there's no need to jail them here. Anyone they catch, anyone that is caught, they have to send them to China or anywhere they come from, they have to jail them in those countries. Are we serious, sir? Are we serious? So just imagine, as my co-panelist, as Dr. Harris was saying, that is it that because the Pharisees of this cabal has been touched, That is why we are seeing people are lamenting. Where was the lamentation when people were talking about this? Just imagine Ghana. Even when you don't import water, see what is happening to the Ghanaian populace. They say this thing will affect pure drinking water. Water is life. So the galamsey stuff has infrastructural, medical, and psychological disadvantage. I'm wondering what is even pushing the guys to this galamsey. Is it that if we drive them completely out of the galamsey, do we have an alternative livelihood for them? Have we created an avenue wherein if we take them out of this galamsey, how would they survive? As you were saying, the military, the custodian of the states, they take taxes from you and me to buy their uniforms. And then when they behave like we are their bosses and say, this man is my security, I'm the one that's buying his boots, I'm the one that's buying his gun. They sent him to go protect. Instead of he protects, he defend. So the galamsey disadvantage is 3: infrastructure, scientific, which is prone to a very deadly, hazardous chemical on life and property, and it has its psychological downturn.
Okay, so Big Harry, coming back to you, who do you say are the true beneficiaries of this galamsey? Is it the powerful individual behind them, or the ordinary person who is engaged into the galamsey?
If you ask me sitting here, I don't have money to go and buy an excavator. Not to talk about hiring or importing one into the country. So who then brings in the excavators? And you see, if you look, I'll just bring you a small scenario.
Okay.
Before the state of Israel, before the Israelis, now present Israelis, came to that land, they didn't even know where they were going. The man who led them was called Theodor Herzl, who said he was leading the Jews to go and occupy the land they came from. All right, and the man who took them there was an indigent black man who knew the nooks and crannies of the land, who took him there. Today, if you go to Wase Kropong and anywhere the galamsey is done, you will see young Ghanaians working hard. Who are they working for? They are working for Chinese people from China. I don't even see Indians there. All the Indians do is to buy after the thing comes to the town. They will buy. They will then send any machine there to go and mine. But the Chinese. So who leads them there? But let us take a cue from our national pledge. Say, I promise on my honor to be faithful and loyal to Ghana, my motherland. How can somebody promise to be faithful and loyal to his motherland and lead a stranger into the forest? And there is a portion in the national pledge that I pledge myself in all things to defend the good name of Ghana. How do you defend when you are destroying? How do you defend? How can somebody say, I pledge my services in all things to uphold and defend?
How many people are aware of this pledge and how many people can recite it?
What an irony.
Fully.
What an irony.
This is our slogan. This is our prayer. This is what we should have been.
This is the pledge we make to ourselves and country.
Exactly. And that we will defend our country with
all integrity.
With all integrity. And then you will see politicians leading these aliens into the forest, because the aliens don't know the forest. They live in China. They arrive at the airport. Someone comes to pick them, sit in an air-conditioned bus or car, and then they drive them to this hinterland.
This reminds me, there was this lady called Aisha Hua.
Who come there? The thing is that, you see, do we think about the concomitant effects of their actions and inactions? All right. Growing up, I have traveled lengthily about all parts of the western region. So I saw River Ankobra, I know River Pra, I know the Tano River, I know almost all the rivers in Ghana. All right, because growing up as a boy, we go there, fetch some, drink some, bath in it and stuff like that. All right. And today, when I'm going back the same road, and you see all these river bodies, I don't know, it is not milk, the nature is not milk, like milk. Creamy, all right? Totally destroyed. So which means that the life in that water itself is destroyed as well. So no fish in that water can survive, or if it is surviving, it is not a good fish to eat.
Barely surviving.
So I'm saying. And then comes people who farm around these river bodies, all right? They drink this water. They use the same water to water their crops, to irrigate their farms, all right? And then when some of them, the women especially, go to give birth, they have stillborn babies with defects here and there. Some have one leg, some don't have leg at all, some have 2 faces, some have 7 fingers. And you look at this and it's like our leaders are not even troubled.
Premature brain development.
Our leaders are not troubled, all right? Then you go into the forest itself, all right? Then you will see the huge devastation, flora and fauna being destroyed, all right? And you will see politicians sit just like we are sitting here, say all manner of things and blame each other that, oh, under your regime, under our regime it was 10%. Under your regime it is 20%. We don't want to know whether it is 20% or it is 30%. The thing is, do we have are we just inept, or we lack the aptitude to keep the galamsey minutes? Not that we lack the aptitude. It is just deliberate. People are milking the lame cow. And when the helicopter crashed, all right, fortunately, we are all privy to the town where the helicopter crashed. If you look at the village, if you look at those dilapidated buildings there, those mud houses that are almost crumbling, if you look at the men and women who live in this village with no hope, no vision for them, no future for them, they live their sequestered life as if, oh, that, when are you coming for us? This is how they are living, all right? And they who live there don't benefit from what is being taken from the land.
They virtually live on hand to mouth.
They are not even living at all. They are only betting debt, and debt as it is even pass them by. And you will see people from Accra, Kumasi, living in luxurious houses, who will bypass them and go into this forest and go and take the wealth of that land away. Without even said, okay, whilst we are even taking the wealth out of the land, let us build for these people some good houses, some potable drinking water, some schools. Let us see what we can do for this village and transform the village. When I look at the village yesterday, and the people were asked that because they need the security apparatus need to go and handpick certain things from the debris over there, they are not supposed to go and farm or do anything. And now the people are asking, how do you want us to survive? Because that is where we have our cassava, that is where we have our cocoyam, that is how we have our pepper, because we don't have the money like you have to be going to the grocery shop to buy fish, to buy that, to buy that, to buy that, all right? So they have been banned not to go there for a period of time. How are they gonna survive? Okay? So there must be a conscious effort on part of past and present government that those people living in those mud houses in these galamsey areas, in fact, are they not humans? Are they not Ghanaians? Or Ghana is only Accra, Kumasi, and the capital. And yet, the very wealth that is unearthed from those places, it is the people in the cities that benefit from it. Why are we so wicked to our own selves?
So, in so saying, are you saying that the fight against galamsey, in talking about that, people who are the top, the powerful, are the ones who are benefiting rather than...
Not too long ago, I was just telling you that. His Excellency, the ex-president, Akufo-Addo, he was presented with documentary that Akonta Mining, your party chairman in Ashanti region, Chairman Wuntumi,
Yes.
is engaged in illegal mining in the Nimrem forest. The people who were captured on the video say that is for Wuntumi. His then environmental minister, Jinapo, revoked Wuntumi's license and said Wuntumi has no business to go and mine in the forest. So he even denounced Wuntumi that what Wuntumi is doing in the forest is illegal. Not long after that, the president of the land at that time, Akufo-Addo, said, oh, Wuntumi is not engaged in any illegality or any illegal mining. All right? And look, until recently when Wuntumi was arrested, his cohort or compatriot beseeched the Yoko office demanding for his release. So therefore, if these people even destroy anything at all, they are being defended by their cronies.
They cannot be held accountable.
They are defended by their cronies. Look at the number of people who went to the office to go and whether make a vigil or whatever. And today, unfortunately, nobody is happy that 8 men have lost their lives in the fight against galamsey. But the thing is that coming event cast their shadows. That if we have assiduously fought against illegal mining in the past, this thing was preventable. This thing was avoidable. There was no way if we have done what we... The other day I was telling you that a good decision, violently executed today, is better than a perfect plan next week. Therefore, if we have to ruthlessly kill them, the government was asked to declare a state of emergency. They refused. Why did they refuse? Because their men are the ones on the ground. Why are they not adopting the shoot and kill tactics? Because it is a crime against the environment. It is a crime against our river bodies.
Right. So back to you, Mr. Jallo.
Yeah.
Will you say that this fight against galamsey is a genuine priority of the government, or it is something that is being hypocritically executed?
The fight against galamsey is a cosmetic endeavor that both two major political parties are engaged in, and they have even made it a political game. Let me tell you something. If NDC and NPP sit down and have a joint press conference and tell the galamseyers that we in these two political parties, we have a united front on galamsey.
Okay.
A united front. If we lose power or win power, or we are writing our manifesto, galamsey is a no-go area because it is an existential threat to Ghana.
Okay.
But listen, when they go to campaign, do you know that when NPP won the 2016 election, they broke record in Africa? We are talking about the first most competitive election that the winner had almost 1 million votes. Swept a tsunami, swept the pool, somebody from the opposition. When they came and started talking about galamsey and galam sports, and the second election they lost, they almost lose the election. People are even saying they lost. Then they have an hung parliament. When they were going out to campaign the next time, they don't talk about it. You should know that the concern of the people were not in the center or the environment. And those political party hierarchies, they make money from that galamsey. I'm telling you, there was a man called Joshua Dongonyaro. He was an ECOMOG commander after Samuel Kedo was killed. He was to take over from the Ghanaian commander Arnold Quino. When he flew from Nigeria, he reached Freetown, my country. He told his commanders that he will not sit with rebels in Monrovia. Before he lands in Monrovia, Charles Taylor should go 45 miles from Monrovia. We are talking about political will. We are not talking about this cantata they are doing in Ghana for the galamsey. Before Joshua Dongonyaro stepped in Monrovia, NPFL was in Abel, running for their lives. How they call this man? His name is Jean-Yves Le Drian, the French defense minister. Just imagine, France is the highest beneficiary of tourism. Last year, 2014 alone, France make almost 900 billion. Then Islamic militants wanted to play with Paris. Macron asked the defense minister to unleash 10,000 soldiers. When, as he was saying that it's better to shoot and kill and handle the situation once and for all. Do you know what will have happened to France when Islamic cells were all over? Who will go there for tourism? Nobody will go there for tourism. Something happened in the UK. There's a man called, the UK government had a man called Akmal Sheikh. He's a British citizen. They caught him with cocaine in China. The British government were brave to tell the Chinese that actually this man has some mental problem. The Chinese said, a British citizen with a mental problem that will bring cocaine in China, that mental problem should be managed in China. They say, and when the man is going to court, we are not even speaking English. We have to take the man to the Chinese court. He was executed in China. Then you are talking about Ghana. The Ghana Armed Forces that has led the UNIFIL, the United Nations mission in Lebanon. Do you know what Ghanaian commander, the genuine commander they are feeling, how their politicians are playing with them? Ghana Armed Forces that went to fight in Sierra Leone and Liberia cannot finish galamsey. Is somebody okay? We saw the Ghanaian Armed Forces when General Sani Abacha, when ECOMOG said, when Alhaji Tijan Kaba was overthrown on the 29th of May 1997, ECOWAS met in Abuja, said they will reverse the coup. From February 9th to February 15th, they have removed Armed Forces Revolution Council with RUF 45,000 troops. They ran away from Freetown. The war, Galamsey war, has never been genuine. The politicians are playing with the lives of the people. They will end the Galamsey in 24 hours. The Armed Forces of Ghana can finish Galamsey. It should have been a history long time. They should not disturb our ears. We pity those who have lost their life, but the political class should see this as an example that bigger danger awaits them if they don't act immediately.
On the myth segment, Big Harry, I want to ask this question. Is galamsey really the only way for rural communities to survive economically?
You see, when you don't distribute the national kit properly, all right, and I have something, I cannot benefit from it, and outsiders are benefiting from it. What do you expect me to do? If I cannot beat them, I join them. Now, who will sit down and has a stick in hand and the dog is biting, and you say you put the stick down for the dog to come and bite him? Who does that? So as far as the political will is not there to stop it, the people who have only but one alternative to join. And even if I was there, I will join too, because at the end of the day, it is the order of the day. All right,
and you have to survive.
Everybody needs to survive. Like I'm telling you,
somebody once said that it is foolish to be wise in the land of fools.
That's what I'm telling you, that if you go to the where the helicopter crashed, all right, if you look at those dilapidated buildings there, that should tell you alone that in the 21st century, these buildings even do exist in Ghana. How? Africa. What have we done? Why are we doing this to ourselves? But I will tell you something in the Bible. They say one day, a rich man, when he was traveling, he gave 10 cedi to one gentleman, he gave 5 cedi to one gentleman, and gave 1 cedi to another gentleman. And he went on his journey. When he came back, the man he gave 10 cedi said, "Boss, I know you are not going to come back now. So this is your money. I work with it. I have made 50 cedis. He said, "You are wise. Keep it." He went to the man who gave 5 cedi. He exhibited the same thing. And he said, "You are wise too. Keep it." Then he went to the man he gave 1 cedi. And the man said, "Boss, me, I don't like trouble. I kept this money under lock and key. And now that you are here, take your money." We are the ones, Ghanaians and Africans are the one with the one. God has given us all the mineral resources, yet we are languishing in poverty.
Oh God.
Congo alone, the mineral resources in Congo alone can take care of the whole of Africa. Yet Congo is the poorest country in the world.
And in crisis.
We are endowed with all the mineral resources. So it's lack of leadership. But if there should be any alternative, I have my wide opinion as to the alternative for this. And probably because of your pastoral background, you might disagree with me. I would like to share with you. And it is also found in the Bible in the book of Genesis chapter 1 verse 29. And I will share with you. You might not be a fan of reggae music, but for a very long time, musicians like Peter Tosh, Culture,
Bob Marley
were saying, legalize the marijuana, let it flow, sell it to the people. There is money in that. It is not only to be smoked, but the economic benefit was the Indian hemp tree, and we can rake in money on that. Then the world power said, no, you cannot do that. You don't have to legalize it. So anybody who plants marijuana is arrested and put in jail. Today, go to America and ask whether marijuana is legalized or is not legalized. Even go to Morocco, it is legalized. So to me, the only economic benefit is that the people should be allowed to plant marijuana, and they should manage it in such a way that they can sell it out,
export it,
and rake in money. Let me tell you, one plant of Indian hemp, all right, could cost about 8,000 Ghana cedis. It takes 1 acre of a land to get 1 bag of cocoa beans to be sold for 5,000 or 3,000 or thereabout. And I'm telling you, one plant, just like one plant standing there like this alone of Indian hemp tree, if well nurtured, could cost about 8,000-10,000 Ghana cedis. So imagine if you have an acre land of it, and then you have the prisoners and the military and whatnot, probably given the right logistics and whatever to work with. All right, people are in Konya Volta region. They are planting herbs, and the police will go there and put fire in it. Bam. Meanwhile, when they tell you the street value of what they have burnt, it runs into millions of dollars. So are we that deft that whilst other countries are raking in the money, we are sitting here putting fire in it? What kind of people are we? Can't we think? Oh, it's like our heads are not properly screwed on. You see, it's agriculture. I will quote a verse for you. If you read in the book of Genesis chapter 1 verse 29, and the Lord God said, behold, I have given you every herb that have seed in it. I have given you all. He didn't say some. All herb that have seed on all the surface of the earth. This shall be for your food. Did I manufacture the Indian herb myself? Do I grow plants? God in his holy wisdom said, I have given you all, also every herb on the surface of the earth, including the Indian herb. And he said, if you do it well, you can rake in millions of money from it. The white people, they don't have land to plant all these things. All right, but today they have found modern way of cultivating it in UK. Modern way of cultivating it. Look at the Arab countries. All right, they were even so strict that they shouldn't have allowed this. But go to Morocco. Today, Morocco, they are doing India hemp farm. Go to Angola. Go to almost Uruguay. They are all doing it. Mike Tyson.
The school of thought is that because our regulatory bodies are not properly functional, and then people will begin to abuse it. Listen, that will become a problem.
This holier than thou attitude of that. You see, it is holier than thou attitude.
Recently, I think I was watching TV, and then I saw about 6 tipper trucks. I mean, the long one.
In Koforidua, in the eastern region, loaded with sand, and underneath it is bags of Indian hemp. Underneath the sand,
more than 100,
more than about 100 and something bags. All right? And the street value of that thing alone, I'm telling you, no cocoa, no amount of cocoa beans, even for the next 10 years, will surpass the amount of that Indian hemp that was arrested in that truck. So why are we being hypocritical? Now you will tell me you're a pastor. Oh, it was for our children. Let me tell you something, all right? You here now. If you happen to be a father and your son gets scholarship in America, all right, you are happy that your son is going to America because it's a democratic country. Are you not worried that marijuana is legalized there and your son can go there and smoke marijuana for free? But here it is restricted. Okay, so your son leaves a restricted land and goes to a land that is free, where the marijuana can be sold in shops and stuff like that, and you're happy that, oh, my son is going to America. He is going into a land where those things can easily be acquired. That one you are happy. But when you are supposed to do same for the benefit of your own people, oh, our children will get spoiled. But who brought in the tramadol? Why is the tramadol being sold? Not in the drugstores. How did the tramadol get to the streets? That people today, I don't know whether they smoke it or they drink it or I don't know how they take it. And today you will see somebody leaning, whether he is falling or he's in acrobatic mood or he's in a trance.
I saw a video on TikTok recently.
My brother, you see, it is high time black people need to be sensible. We are sleeping. We need to wake up from our sleep and our slumber. I'm saying we are those people that when we're given the talent, the one, we have the gold, the bauxite, the manganese. What don't we have? And we are still poor.
Is it not the reason why people are engaged into the galamsey to extract?
That is why I'm saying that long ago, we're not doing galamsey. If we had allowed people to use their brains to do the right things, we wouldn't have gotten to. Nobody will even go and listen. It takes galamsey is a tedious work. For you to go underneath the ground to unearth that small thing, although it is wetted. No, give yourself 4 months. That is how long it takes the Indian hemp plant to grow. 4 months. And so if you have an acre land of it, 10,000 acre land of it, do you know how much we'll be making? Do you know how much scholarships we can give to our children to go to school for free?
Right. On that, I'm going to go back to Mr. Gabriel, and then from there we take a quick break and then come back. Mr. Gabriel, does stopping galamsey automatically mean ending poverty in mining communities? Will you say that?
Let me respond by borrowing from the late reggae legend Bob Marley.
Okay.
He said, in the abundance of water,
the fool is thirsty.
The fool is thirsty. You see, at times when I see our African leaders, representative, wallowing in things that matters as little importance, as opposed to what Big Harry just downloaded a few minutes ago. We go sit in parliament, we spend months putting a bill that will chase a man in a woman or a man and a man in a room. What they do there will not do anything to me. If a man and a man decide to go lock themselves, they don't come in my community outside. They go and try be foolish. That should now be the center of my lawmakers.
We believe
to strategize.
We believe that it has an adverse health effect.
I am saying that you're not understanding me. I say if a man and a man conceal themselves where I am not seeing them.
Okay.
I'm not saying a man and a man violate my culture to stand and kiss in the street, but they go and conceal themselves somewhere.
Okay.
Then and now spend millions of CDs to be having meetings to regulate those lifestyle that I cannot even see. Then short of valuable highlights have been presented about Indian hemp, which is the hub of the economy of Afghanistan. They don't have oil. So I am not saying that we should not pursue things that abuse our culture.
Okay.
I'm saying that for us to invest our time in pursuing those matters and leave what Jesus Christ said, what matters most. Do you know my pain about the failure of galamsey in Ghana?
Okay.
Ghanaians don't know that this so-called analogy of Ghana being the gateway of Africa. If you open Sierra Leone and Liberian TV, Ghana is the example, is the role model. If the opposition in Ghana is battling with the ruling government and you want to look at as an example, is Ghana. See, if you go to Ghana, you see the Ghanaian school. So when I watch them talking about Ghana, then I'm sitting in Ghana where we cannot even fight galamsey. That's the Ghana that Sierra Leone Parliament will spend 1 hour. They tell you about the schools, they tell you about the hospitals. And today our ministers of state, they come to Ghana. Today Nigeria, Sierra Leonean students, they come to Ghana. But indeed, that Ghana cannot manage galamsey. So that's why I say in the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. So what we need to do now, or what African leaders need to do now, is to think behind the box.
Exactly, put pragmatic measures.
To think behind the box. You see, when I think it was Nixon on the 17th of June 1971, 4 years before I was born, when he started a war against drugs, and they started fighting it. And he said that even people in the system, I say, but America have 4.1 million people in prison. The population of the American prisoner is more than the citizens of Gambia. Gambia as a whole country, prisoners in America. So you will know that to be fighting these aimless battles, this aimless battle of fighting Republican fighting Democrats, let's initiate pragmatic steps like what he's saying now. Indian ham. What will that do? What will the negative for some people, when they smoke it, they just smile. I know one, my friend, for him when he wants to smile, even if he has lost his might of smiling, so you just smoke one and smile. There's another guy who said, when I smoke it, it opens my appetite. So let's regulate it and get the negative aspects of it and take the useful aspects of it, because I don't know about it. He's saying that the labor, the excavator, the battle you will get to get galamsey, you spend less energy to make money and export it. So me, I am asking our leaders, 8 gentlemen have left 8 widows, have left children number of children. Some of them are role model to people. Some of them pay people school. I saw a girl that was crying because I deliberately refused to watch the Ghanaian television since it happened. But they will switch it on WhatsApp. You will see it. You are trying to run away from the television. You will see it on Facebook.
Anywhere you pass.
You must see what happened. So we want to appeal. The galamsey fight has touched the pinnacle of power. As you see this galamsey fight today touch your own, reflect your memory. Those that have died that you don't know about.
Yeah.
So please, in the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty.
So, touching on that, we will go for a quick commercial.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening.
Your break came late. I thought we were finished. The topic is over.
Listeners, we are still discussing the topic, the fight against galamsey, real commitment or political hypocrisy. And we want to jump straight back into discussion, and I'll be going to big hurry on the hypocrisy aspect of this fight. Okay, and then quickly, the first part of the discussion will be, why do some politicians publicly condemn galamsey but secretly protect or profit from it? Why would you think so?
Why do Jesus say, "These men praise me with their mouth, yet their heart is far away from me"? All right. So that is the politician for you. They praise God with their mouth, but their heart is far away. They condemn galamsey in all with all seriousness that they need to criticize. They will say anything is supposed to say about galamsey. Yet when they leave the studios, when they leave the television stations, they are the one that they made the phone calls. Are you there? Is anybody troubling you there? All right. But I think nature has taught us a better lesson.
Okay.
It is not in my interest, neither nobody's interest, that these 8 gentlemen should go and lose their lives in such a terrible manner. All right. But then it calls for rethinking. All right. I think if the president, in his resetting agenda, really want to reset, I think this is the best opportunity for him. I am sure he has only about 1 week to grieve over this and take the stringent measures necessary to nip this in the bud once and for all. We are so much tired with NDC saying that, MPP saying that, CPP saying that, DPP saying that.
Okay.
Now the reality is confronting us in the face.
Okay.
Are we losing or we are winning? And already the answer is that we are losing on an unimaginable scale.
Big time.
You see, it is not as if, you see, if you have not seen the videos, the documentary, if you don't know how much the forest is under attack, all right, then you think, oh, these people, they have gotten some water to drink, berakwa, and from here they are going to eat some proper fufu, and as for them, they are only talking because they want to talk, and then they don't care about we in the villages. Okay, me, if you look at this tricycle on the street, I don't support young men driving tricycle on the street. That is no work. That job is no job. If you ask people that you will give them license to be driving Okadas and tricycles, which means you are not thinking outside the box. You are not ready to liberate the people from the abyss of poverty. Because the people want industrial work to do, work that they can use their hands, their brains, and think and manufacture. All right? How long am I going to drive Abuboya or Okada? 30 years? Am I going to go on pension driving Abuboya? Huh? Am I going to go on pension and somebody is going to pay me every month that because I drove Abuboya or Okada for 30 years, that is my reward? Please. We have had enough of this. I don't want to use any unpalatable language, all right? But we've had enough of this lip service. Now, they have, he said, he who wears the shoes know where best it pinches. Now it has hit them, the politicians, so hard. And you see, they are now cladded in their beautiful clothes. When it hit them so hard, they've gone into their suitcase, they've come out with their beautiful clothes, and they are like laying rate and like, oh, God. And you see, they are blaming God. It is God who gives, and it is God who has taken. God has no hand in this business. God will not do this to his own people. That's why he said, I have given you life and death. Choose one that you may live, and I wish that you choose life. I wish that you choose sense over uncommon sense.
Right. Mr. Gabriel, quickly, because of time, we want
I only have one thing to say because just one to say. I'm borrowing again from, I love my reggae guys.
So I want you to tackle this aspect for me.
Yeah.
Are anti-galamsey laws enforced fairly or against those without political connections?
That's what I'm saying. Let me borrow from Peter Tosh.
Okay.
Everyone is crying out for peace. No one is crying out for justice.
I have you with the back end.
Everyone is crying out for peace.
But
no one is crying out for justice. I don't need no peace until man has equal rights and justice. So this galamsey thing, we cry, we moan, we lament, we do everything, but the only thing that will settle this matter between the galamseyers and the so-called anti-galamseyers is when the people who Big Harry was saying that they are still living in the colonial era, in the modern age, when those people will have justice and equal rights, when those people will be able to live the life that they require to live in the Ghana of abundance, when those people's children will be able to go to school, when those people
just go back good
schools, when those people will have good medical institution, when those boys that we send to the galamsey places will create job for them, when we have elections, we don't use them and send our children abroad, when that equal right and justice reaches, then the problem will be resolved once and for all. These are my comments for the day, and thank you very much.
Right. So, Big Harry, I want to come back to that. I believe that the President, His Excellency, would have to take this as a serious concern to fight this galamsey. The fight against galamsey, to engage so seriously in the fight against galamsey. Why am I saying that? Because he himself was supposed to go, and he could have been one of those men who lost their lives, and so it should bring a sort of reflection, not just mourning their demise, but also taking a very pragmatic actions that will resolve these issues so that there will not be need for conferences to be held, talks to be, shows to be held for people to go, and then in the process end up losing their lives. So, Big Harry, to touch on the last aspect of hypocrisy, then we come to the last part of the show, and then we conclude on that. Should politicians and officials with ties to galamsey be banned from holding public office? What's your opinion?
Say that again.
Should anyone who has ties with galamsey, who has been discovered as a public servant, who has ties with galamsey, be banned from public office? Do you think that is a good sanction so that it will deter those who are influential and they are backing these galamseyers and causing this fight to result to nothing?
Yes, I think His Excellency the President said he wants to reset, and to me, he's got only 4 years. He's not going to contest again. I will wish that after 4 years, he would have been given another mandate.
3.5 years.
Oh, yes, but you see, he has a legacy to leave, and I think he should look at the Burkina Faso president and learn from the Burkina Faso president, no matter how young that gentleman is. All right, this is a man who is giving out his all, and he is doing it with such deliberateness. All right, he is carefully doing it and doing it right. Okay, like we don't need rocket science in this business. So if any political appointee is caught up in this galamsey thing, to me, the bottom line does not mean he should only be relieved of his post. He should go to jail. Just relieving them of their positions does not solve the problem.
They might be out of office and still
go to jail
and still engage in the galamsey.
Exactly. So you see, but I'm sure. Let's give ourselves 2 weeks. I'm sure there's going to be a ruthless fight against this menace, because now it has come to their doorsteps. And if you don't act, you know what is going to happen? Terrorists are going to invade the forest this time, and they are going to have good equipment, good arms. All right, that will be difficult for even anybody to go there and fight them. Because when I am in the forest, I know the ins and outs of the forest. You don't know. You come with helicopter, I will shoot it down. You will come through road, I will shoot you down. So if we don't give ourselves, you see, like my brother said, the Ghana Armed Forces, when they are in Lebanon, when they are in Liberia, anywhere they find themselves, they are distinguished men and women. They have the reputation of fighting anything. So why this simple, small minority doing galamsey, illegal mining, and we say we cannot fight it? Please, it's a scam.
Right. Let's look at the last aspect of the show, concluding words, and then draw the curtains to this.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly subscribe to the views of my big brother. The people will not only be banned and confiscate their assets, and keys their bank account, try to evaluate, commensurate what we are having normally in the legal perspective, their salary, and compare it with what they have right after they start calamity. Freeze those assets, give the money back to the people, to the government, and send them to long imprisonment and with hard labor, which will stand as a deterrent for this calamity.
So, yes, so that is from Mr. Gabriel Mikari. What would your concluding words for today's show?
Unfortunately, the die is cast. We've lost 8 able men, breadwinners, people with vision,
gallant
leaders, young Dr. Omane Boama, Butalama Mohammed. I was going to see him. I was going to make arrangement to see him for my campaign against plastic waste. You know,
that's serious.
So I'm saying, and unfortunately he's gone. So I'm saying, and it is sad. All of us should see how the country is now in agony. All right, and you don't want to see a repetition of this. They say a stitch in time saves 9.
Yeah.
So if that stitch has been applied long ago, it will have prevented this. And therefore, it is not too late when a man that is lying down says he wants to wake up. You say a blow becomes a knockout only when you refuse to get up. You can be hit hard, you will fall down. But if you want to wake up and win the battle, you win. You've seen boxers who have been knocked, and by the count of 8, they are up and then they will win the fight. We are not losing. We can still do better and win the fight. So we wish the family well. We sympathize with them. God should be their guide, protect them, their families, their children. And we hope that this thing will be a thing of the past. They said they are going to do everything in the name of this gallant man, all right? So that one day when we stand, we said, oh, when we lost these lives, that is how we won the battle against galamsey. We live to see. It should not be only just
rhetoric.
Lip service. But it's something that must be doable, and it is doable.
Right. So I would like to subscribe to the concluding words of Big Harry. He says that a blow becomes a knockout only when you refuse to rise again. So I think that Ghana can overcome this fight of galamsey if we truly are determined to bring it to an end. We will not want lives to be lost again. It might be me, it might be you. And we will never know. We'll never know who will be the next person whose life will be lost through this galamsey that has become a canker in our communities and our country. And so
yes, and Ghana will win more when you, the host, host the program and advertise our business. We talk to the people, the whole program today. You didn't advertise so you have to advertise our business for the business to grow.
Yeah. So yes, my able, panelist, Mr. Gabriel Jalo, is a podcaster.
No, I'm talking about this entity's business.
Oh,
you did not advertise our computers, and so the business run when you advertise. So please, before we close, tell them about all.
Yes. So a quick one. Yes. So this media house has let me say electronic shop, which we deal in computers and accessories, washing machine, televisions, and we are running a promo just for you to know, so that when you call the numbers will be on the screen.
Okay.
And then call us, reach out to us. You have a 20% discount.
And we have the best CEO in town.
If Gabriel has not drawn your attention, I had no knowledge that you deal in.
Yes, we even go to your house and we install your computer. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Week in, week out. Yes. So it is time for you to call, to reach out. If you want to be a partner of this program, Economical Insights, you can also call the numbers on the screen, and then be a sponsor who will be here to acknowledge you, advertise your products for you. And I think that we'll be on the right path to doing great business. And so it's another edition, and we are grateful to have you with us. Go to the comment section, share your opinions, and we are calling on the people in power, that this should not just be a talk show that we have held for nothing. It should be something that should step on your toes, so that the fight against galamsey will become a reality. It will not just be a statement of hypocrisy, but something that will be on a legacy that we can all be proud of, something that will protect our environment for the future generation, that will make Ghana the star of Africa. We are very grateful to have you. We'll see you next week on the show again. Thank you. Bye-bye.